ESPN's Michael Wilbon is in some hot water after he made what I would consider to be trashy, problematic, and borderline anti-Semitic comments about former Auburn basketball coach Bruce Pearl. Let us talk about it. It is another episode of the New York Times Sports. Once again, I am Walter Cronkite, baby. This all started a few days ago when Bruce Pearl, Big Daddy, Big Macher, the winningest coach in Auburn history, stepped down. Immediately also, he put to bed rumors that he was running for the Senate. Bruce Pearl last year was one of the 3 Jewish basketball coaches that made it to the Final Four. In the history of the world, there have only been a few Jewish men who could pull off a Cheeto-dusted sport jacket, and Bruce Pearl was one of those men. Michael Wilbon was recently asked about Bruce Pearl stepping down on ESPN's Part of the Interruption, and he had this to say.
Tony, he become a divisive person, it seems to me, intentionally, and I hope there was pressure to just get him.
Michael Wilbon goes on Part of the Interruption, says that he's happy that Bruce Pearl isn't there anymore, that he had become too divisive, and that he secretly hopes that there were people at Auburn that were pushing Bruce Pearl out. So the question is, what thing did Bruce Pearl do? What big divisive thing did Bruce Pearl do? What thing does Michael Wilbon think is insanely divisive? The time that Bruce Pearl called for the release of Idon Alexander from Gaza. Michael Wilbon thinks that Jewish American Bruce Pearl asking for the return of Jewish American Idon Alexander from Hamas was divisive. The story here is that during March Madness, Bruce Pearl, during one of his press conferences, made sure to make a comment about Idon Alexander and that the team was doing well, but of course his thoughts were over there in Gaza with the person that had been captured. He did not praise Bibi. He did not say, let's keep this war going. All he did was say, let's bring Idon Alexander home. And just to give you another note on this, Bruce Pearl asked the team before he made the statement if they were okay with him making the statement. Bruce Pearl is a mensch. Michael Wilbon represents a particularly trashy part of American society that politicized the hostages in a way that prevented Jews from bringing it up. Non-Jews, you guys do not get to dictate how the Jewish community talks about this war of the hostages. Bruce Pearl's a Trump guy. Congratulations, more than half of America are Trump guys. That does not mean that anytime he talks up, it's divisive.